Welcome to Hoffmann-Photography. My name is Rainer, and in this video we'll talk about composition rules and why you shouldn't take them too seriously. There are a lot of composition rules in photography. You may have heard about the rule of thirds or the golden rule or some others. If you don't have heard of them, don't worry, just hang on. But are these rules hard and fast rules, or are there exceptions? Let me quote the physicist and Nobel laureate Richard Feynman. He said, "Well, you don't have to look hard to find an exception to almost any rule. Therefore, we shouldn't call them rules. To paraphrase Captain Barbossa from the movie Pirates of the Caribbean, they are more like guidelines anyway. Meaning you can follow them, but it's by no means compulsory." Let's have a look at the rule of thirds, which is perhaps the most fundamental composition rule out there. The rule of thirds states that when the picture area is divided into thirds, like a tic-tac-toe diagram, then the most important elements of the composition should be placed along the left or right vertical thirds and/or the top and bottom horizontal thirds. The intersections of the lines are sometimes called power points. The main subject of the image should be placed on one of these points to give it emphasis. In this example, the rule of thirds principle has been taken quite far. The elephants have been placed along the bottom horizontal third, the horizon along the top horizontal third, and the mountain in the background on the top left power point. Most people find this composition indeed balanced and pleasing. This image shows the lighthouse of the port of Lindau. Both the lighthouse itself and the footbridge to the lighthouse have been placed along the vertical and horizontal lines of thirds, respectively. The placement of objects in the picture doesn't have to be exactly on these lines, but for a pleasing composition they should be close, or so says the rule. If you follow the rule of thirds, the result will be agreeable in most cases. But sometimes it can be much better to disregard the rule of thirds completely and to place the subject right in the center of the image. This lioness was walking straight towards our car. Placing her in the center of the image conveys exactly that. Had she been placed off-center, the effect would have been greatly reduced. In the next image, the herd of wildebeest was placed right at the bottom edge of the image, again disregarding the rule of thirds completely. But it is a very strong composition, thanks to the storm clouds in the sky that fill the upper part of the image. A clear blue sky would have been quite boring instead. In future videos, we'll be talking a lot about composition and composition rules, or composition guidelines. I just wanted to make sure that you don't think of them as hard and fast rules. They are more like composition aids in what feels like a real jungle of composition options. If you always follow the rules by the book, then in the long run, your images will become somewhat boring. Please keep that in mind whenever you read or hear something about composition rules. That's it for today. Thanks for watching.